Welcome back to This Day in Irish History. I'm your host, Raymond Welsh. Before we dive into today's story, if you'd like to explore other significant events that happened on this day in Irish history, visit thisdayirishhistory.com. The link is in the episode description. Now, let's journey back to May 5th, 1981, and when Bobby Sands, an Irish Republican and Member of Parliament, died after 66 harrowing days on hunger strike in the H blocks of Long Kesh prison. His death ignited international outrage, reshaped the political landscape in Northern Ireland, and turned a young man from Belfast into a powerful symbol of resistance and martyrdom. Born in 1954 in Rathcoole, a predominantly loyalist area in North Belfast, Robert Gerard Sands grew up amidst the growing tensions of the Troubles. His family, like many Catholic families, faced harassment and intimidation, eventually forcing them to move to the nationalist stronghold of Twinbrook in West Belfast. By his late teens, Sands had joined the Provisional IRA, drawn by a deepening conviction that only armed struggle could end British rule in Northern Ireland and achieve a united Ireland. In 1976, Bobby Sands was arrested and later sentenced to 14 years in prison for possession of firearms. He was sent to the Maze prison, also known as Long Kesh, where he became a central figure in the Republican prisoners' protest. The root of the protests stemmed from the British government's 1976 decision to end special category status for paramilitary prisoners, which had previously recognized them as political prisoners. This reclassification meant they were treated as ordinary criminals, forced to wear prison uniforms, do prison work, and accept the authority of guards rather than governing themselves as they had under the earlier regime. In response, Republican prisoners began the blanket protest, refusing to wear prison uniforms. When this escalated into the dirty protest, prisoners smeared excrement on their cell walls to protest inhumane treatment and conditions. But it was in 1981, after years of deadlock and suffering, that the prisoners decided to take the most desperate step: a hunger strike to the death. Bobby Sands, chosen to lead the strike, began refusing food on March 1st, 1981. His demand, along with the other hunger strikers, centered on 5 key points: rights that would effectively restore political status, the right not to wear a prison uniform, not to do prison work, free association with other prisoners, the right to organize their own educational and recreational facilities, and full remission of sentences lost during the protest. What made Sands' strike so politically explosive was that during his protest he stood as a candidate in the Fermanagh and South Tyrone by-election. In a stunning upset, Bobby Sands won the seat on April 9th, defeating the Ulster Unionist candidate and securing a seat in the British Parliament. The victory sent shockwaves through the UK and around the world. Here was a man the British government labelled a criminal, elected by tens of thousands of constituents who viewed him as a political prisoner. Despite mounting international pressure, including appeals from Pope John Paul II, the European Parliament, and governments across the globe, British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher refused to yield. On May 5th, 1981, Bobby Sands died at the age of 27, weighing just over 95 pounds. His death triggered an outpouring of grief and fury. Riots erupted across nationalist areas of Northern Ireland. Tens of thousands lined the streets of West Belfast for his funeral. In the weeks that followed, 9 more hunger strikers died, and international attention on British policy in Northern Ireland intensified. But Sands' legacy went beyond the prison walls. His death marked a turning point for the Republican movement. The electoral success of his campaign demonstrated the potential power of political engagement. Sinn Féin began to shift toward a ballot box and Armalite strategy, combining armed struggle with electoral politics. Over time, that transformation would lead the party to become a major political force in both Northern Ireland and the Republic. Bobby Sands remains one of the most polarizing figures in modern Irish history, reviled by some, revered by others. To his supporters, he is remembered as a martyr who sacrificed his life for the principle that Irish Republicans were not criminals, but political actors in a centuries-old struggle. His prison writings, smuggled out during his incarceration, remained deeply influential, capturing both the suffering and the resolve of the hunger strikers. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Ireland's rich and complex past. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, I'm Raymond Welsh. Slán go Foil.